Dr. Gawande, your article in the New Yorker is eye-opening, just from the perspective of the testing problems that we have, the testing not being able to get done quickly and being readily available. You think this is a problem that could be fixed very quickly in a matter of weeks. First of all, describe the problem, and second of all, tell us how you'd fix it.
Yeah, I think the thing to understand is that the problem we have in testing has changed from what it was in the winter. In the first few months, the problem was we didn't have the technology. We didn't have the tests approved, and we didn't have labs capable of deploying them. Then where we are now, 8 months into the pandemic in the United States, is we now have hundreds of labs that are that have ability to do these tests, and yet we're dependent on just 3 or 4 for the majority of U.S. testing. What we have is an inability to connect the untapped large amount of capacity that's out there. I name companies that would double, that have capacity that would double the volume of test capacity that we are currently available and are already delivering next day turnaround time. But we don't have, I compare it to the electric grid. We don't have a system that matches capacity in the regions and cities where there's lots of it to the regions and cities where there is need. And that's what we have to deploy. It's a sort of fundamental aspect of the public health infrastructure that we lack in the country, that whether it was ventilators, masks, now it's tests, in the months to come it will be vaccines. We need that basic public health infrastructure that matches the capacity to the need, and we can do it.
I was a little surprised and shocked even at how much excess capacity there is in some of the labs that you've visited and seen. Talk about how many tests you think could be done just in the labs that you've already kind of checked out and seen.
Yeah, I'll give an example. Here in Boston, there's a nonprofit lab, the Broad Institute, that's affiliated with Harvard and MIT. They have, when I visited them in the middle of the summer, they were doing a few thousand tests a day. In a state of 10,000 people, they were already, one of our largest sources of capacity. We've had good turnaround time, but they had on hand in the middle of July 35,000 tests a day capacity in a country doing 650,000 tests a day. And given the signal, they could expand to 100,000 tests a day. Then another company here, Ginkgo Bioworks, is building capacity to do north of 200,000 tests a day. But again, the question is, can they bring that capacity on to more than just this regional community and tap it and bring it elsewhere? I point to companies also like Helix and Guardant in California. We have University of Minnesota Genomics Center has tens of thousands of test capacity ready to come online. So, this is the situation we have, where you do have big parts of the country where there's still difficulty with turnaround time. The big companies, Quest, LabCorp, BioReference, have told us they alone can't carry the load when the surge comes in the fall, and we're already not able to meet the needs of making sure everybody who is sick has appropriate testing. So this is basic public health work and an infrastructure we should be building now, but we aren't.